Hey everyone, this is a very different topic that we're going to be discussing. This isn't like a part of the normal Saloon podcast set of episodes. It's very, very different because this is more serious. There are a plethora of different things that we need to get off our chest, and we feel though if we don't mention it sooner or later, it's going to bite us in the tush soon at some point, and so we need to bring this up now.
Yeah.
So I'm
hmm
going to let Berner do the honors first because this is mostly a problem that he's been suffering from as of late. We'll discuss. Mello and I will take the wheel once Berner is done saying what he needs to say.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So,
You're welcome.
hello there, everyone. Burner here, or Coma, or whatever you would like to call me. But hey. So I'm here to discuss a big sort of problem that I've been facing recently, and you know, you may think that it's not really anything too serious. Like, yo, you sounded so happy whenever you were doing all your podcast episodes and stuff like that, but I need to come clean about something, and this is gonna sound a little selfish. I am very well aware of that, but if you didn't already know, if unless you are a part of my Discord server, I myself, Burner, I am the one who edits every single episode of this podcast. Like I've done it ever since Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and very recently I've done it a whole lot more with Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and as high quality as these episodes are, and I do put a lot of my hard work into it, I gotta complain about this point. Burnout is hitting me hard, and it's been starting to really affect my mental health, and it's starting to, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's starting to make me feel like I'm not really benefiting a whole lot from working on the show. No, no, don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. I love the show, and all the responses that I get from it, from oh, you do such a good job with the show, and it's just those are good. I really enjoy the positive reception that they receive, and I actually do try to advertise the show on my own YouTube channel, but that's going to be a topic for a little later on. But yeah, it's a but yeah, I do gotta come clean. I'm feeling burnout. I am absolutely stressed beyond all belief because the time frame of editing a 20-minute episode, possibly even more than that, for the most part, it definitely it starts to feel very, very taxing after a while. Like I'm sure anyone who edits audio will be able to tell you that, you know, oh, you should take breaks. Don't edit so much that you can't handle yourself anymore. And yeah, that's true. But because we've been so hammered in on the deadline that we had to have 20 minutes every single week and have it be as inherently high quality as possible, that kind of tells me that unless I get this done in a ridiculously short amount of time, there is no way that we get these done. Like, granted,
No,
you could probably say that oh, you should record these earlier, and you could probably get them out earlier in the week. Yeah, that's a point, but we're not always all available at that time. Mello has classes, Knock has his own life outside of work to do, and I work on my
hmm
own podcast every single week. Well, the Sorely Cast, I believe I brought it up a few different times on the show, but I and I also just we have our personal lives and we want to enjoy ourselves, and we're
uh,
also working.
oh,
Yes.
sorry. I was going to address something really quick. That's also important. That Burner forgot to mention. Burner literally spends 5 hours trying to edit an episode. That's not a joke. He actually spends 5 hours because there's so much content to edit, whether it
hmm
be the music, the sound, the errors, the cuts, anything of the sort. It takes 5 minutes because we don't know how much of that stuff is going to be in the episode. And so he has to consistently go in there and make tweaks to the sound quality and such and make sure that we're all equally balanced in terms of audio. and that's and there are a lot of lines amongst the three of us because we're all talking, and there's a chance that two of us could be talking over each other, which also makes things pretty difficult too.
And
There's a
there's
lot of different nitty gritty things to get into. It's not as simple as you might think. I understand this because at one point I used Adobe Premiere and I edited this video known as Fang Frenzy, and it's still not done yet. It's I lost. I had to go in and try to you know edit each and every individual part with PNGs and other things to make it more interesting and humorous, all sorts of stuff. And I eventually lost progress because I was in the middle of trying to reformat my computer. It was not fun. I mean, it was, but it also wasn't because of that. The fact that it took me so long, and it's still not done today. So I understand where Burner's coming from. It's a long, tedious, grueling process that it's harder than you think,
yeah,
and it's just it's not worth it. So yeah. Anyways, continue.
yeah, thank you.
You're
But
welcome.
but yeah, yeah, just like Knox said, like I spend upwards of 5 hours a day. I've every like Monday or Sunday or whenever the day we get these recorded, and or the day after we get these recorded, I should say, to not only fix everything that is going wrong with the video, because like, and this relates to another problem that I am going to discuss a little later on, but yeah, essentially here, like, not every recording is going to be perfect. There's just no way to have everything work like perfectly every single time, and trying to strive for perfection, like my friend Mike would always say, it's just impossible. But um but I do try to like make it so that everything is balanced, and even then, like, as clear as I try to make it seem, there is going to be cracks that form because of the fact that I am being rushed, and there's going to be some audio that needs balancing. Heck, I'm pretty sure that my audio is probably the quietest out of everyone, and going in and trying to increase all the audio for when I speak, and that doesn't even play into the fact that like I may actually accidentally get talked over whenever we're doing all these episodes, and that just complicates so many other things. And it's a grueling process, and like whenever I'm done, I just feel absolutely spent, not wanting to do anything else. Like, not even want to play a game or want to hang out with my friends. It's just like, I'm just like, thank goodness this is over. I can finally relax. That's how I feel
Mm.
every single week. And as anyone who has edited any type of anything on a weekly basis or even on a daily basis would be able to tell you, yeah, that's tough. And it's so taxing on your mental health that some days you gotta put your foot down. It's just like, do I want to work on this? Or do I want to actually take care of myself? And you gotta value self care. And that's why, and I've always been and I've always been a massive supporter of that, because like, self care is very important. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
what you honestly, I do not care what you as a viewer personally value in that, but it's something that I value, and it's something that both that Knock and Mellow value as well. And
Right. Mm-hmm.
and we're taking care of ourselves by talking to you today about all of this. So, and it's personally like,
Yeah. Furthermore, before you continue, I'm sorry to interrupt.
it's okay.
We're doing this for the better because we feel as though if we're actually making the decision of releasing it every month, and now not only for Burner's sake, but there's more of a reason. We'll be able to produce higher quality episodes, and not only will we be able to produce higher quality episodes, you won't get nearly as much content, but you'll have more to look forward to because of the less of the content that's releasing, and the episodes will be much, well, I don't know about much longer, but they might actually end up being longer than 20 minutes. There might not even be as much of a risk if it's spread throughout the time span of a month, So you're actually getting something better in exchange for this. And it's not only, we're not doing this only for our mental health, we're doing this because of the fact that we think that a week just isn't, like, doing it every week sucks. And furthermore, I'd like to also point out that Burner and I don't know about Mello. I cannot say for Mello, but Burner and I imagine, I definitely imagine Burner getting a serious sense of dread and panic every time we miss the deadline. I definitely do. I'm always panicking. I never tell anyone outright, but I'm always panicking that I'm never going to hit the deadline. And, I feel terrible about it on the inside. And Burner probably does too. Again, I can't exactly say this 100% certainty because I don't know how everyone else feels, but I can definitely say that for myself.
Yeah, and that also kind of plays into, like, the fact that I spend so much time, spend literal hours, like, every week getting a singular audio track, like, completely balanced, not only with music but also with everything else that I need to add. Cut all the cutting, making sure that there isn't any huge big gaps of silence, because they do happen throughout whenever we're trying to, like, not only whenever we might actually do a little bit of research mid recording. That stuff is fine, but they don't usually belong in, like, a professional recording, or a professional episode. No. And I do my best to, like, make sure that, and keep in mind, like, just because that these episodes are rushed doesn't mean that I don't try to put as much quality into them as possible. I definitely do.
I do too. I have the intention of putting as much quality into these Saloon podcast episodes as possible. I'm even looking forward to some point where we actually change the like the cover art for each episode for the Saloon podcast, as I hastily threw that together because I was panicked. So we're gonna change that at some point when we have the time as well. And so like we care. Don't get us wrong. We definitely care, but we can't just do this every single week. We can fly by within a matter of seconds, right before your very eyes. And and there's also other things I'd like to point out. While you might bring up the counterpoint of, oh, why can't another one of you edit the episode? Well, even if I edited it or Mello edited it, for example, it'd be irrelevant. And I say it'd be irrelevant because of the fact that we feel an equal amount of burnout. There is a possibility that Mello and I would be feeling just about as much burnout as Burner here did, no pun intended. But it wouldn't make a difference if one of us are consistently editing each episode. It wouldn't matter. Even if it's one, there's still a level of burnout that we'd feel after a singular episode that lasts 20 to 30 minutes. It's not fun. Another thing I'd like to point out, trying to think. If we do, it wouldn't. Another thing I'd like to point out is that even if we do this earlier as well, it won't change anything, because the dread and just worrying, like a looming feeling of panicking is still present. It wouldn't make a difference irrespective of what day you're working on the podcast on. It doesn't matter. There's still a sense of dread that you feel, and we're only human. We can only do so much as a group of three. And we're not even getting paid for this, by the way. We're just doing this willingly out of the goodness of our hearts, and because we like the reception that we're getting. We're not doing it because of the fact that we're being paid. And I mean, maybe at some point that we might decide, oh, well, go profitable, but I don't even know when that'll happen. And I'm not going to use that to produce lower quality content. By the way, I'm not going to use that to upload more episodes, or more episodes more frequently. The schedule will still be the same even if we're being paid.
And
because care about quality. Quality is far more important than quantity. And if you want quality, if you want quantity, then listen to other podcasts that can actually do that, can actually offer that thing, because you're not going to get out of this one.
And not only that, but like the thing you all have to realize is that I'm a one man band. I'm doing this all by myself. So I'm editing all of this on my own time. I'm taking time out of what I would consider like fun things that I want to hang out with my other friends, not just Knock and Mellow or anyone else in our groups, but like just other people that I like to hang out with in general. I'm deliberately taking my time away from them so that I can work on this. And that doesn't sound very fun, now does it? Because
It's not.
and it's just, and since I am working on this by myself, like if we had more people working on it, then fine, whatever. But we don't. There's just no way that I can keep this up forever. And thinking
No
that
one can.
and thinking that I can is absolutely ridiculous. And that's something that I
So we
cannot.
needed to come up with a. Oh, sorry.
But and thinking of that like, again is just absolutely ridiculous because like I'm not. I don't. Okay, I don't give myself a lot of credit, but I'm at least decent at audio, but I'm not going to say that I'm the best. And I'm not going to say that I could pump something out on a rapid basis that we've been going to, not at least without either some cracks forming or just me feeling an absolute sense of dread and just, you know, and me feeling like, do I want to work on this today or do I just want to like just do nothing? Because that's what I've been feeling like. I've been feeling absolutely miserable and like just. And granted, of course, oh, you're probably getting a little too worked up about this thing. Come on, just like relax for a while. But here's the thing: I've been editing every single thing for almost a full year now. So I'm not.
He's been editing since Gold and Silver, and that was a year back.
And
that was a while ago.
And I've been, granted, of course, I didn't really start taking into the amount of quality until like, say, Treasure Island. I'd like to say, but like even disregarding that fact, like I still try my best with every single episode that we've been putting out, regardless of the topic.
Yeah, and we all try our hardest with each episode. Granted, we may not be doing as much to the same extent as Burner, but all of us try. We all talk to each other, and we all, make the episodes fun to listen to for your enjoyment. Like I and another thing I'd like to point out, the reason why Burner came on in the first place was to help me. For a while I've been like, before Burner even came on, I was suffering. I liked doing the podcast, but at the same time I didn't, because I needed someone to bounce off of. If I didn't have anyone to bounce off of, I was royally screwed. I just couldn't. I could not, hold a conversation to myself like I could with other people. I realized that. And yes, I oftentimes have this tendency to vent to myself, and so there are probably some people out there that figure, well, you should try doing a podcast because, you're good at ranting and stuff. Just because I'm good at ranting doesn't mean that, it's going to be the same for this podcast. It isn't. It never was.
And plus, that also would make the theming of the show a lot more, negative, and like that's something that nobody would want. We want things to be positive. We want things to be positive. We want to talk about the things that we like because we like stuff. We like games like Splatoon. We like games like Mario All Stars. We like Donkey Kong. We like, Major Magnet. We like these games. That's why we like talk about them.
Yeah, that's why we talk about them. And, if we're going to be suffering each time we talk about them, or like between the time we talk about them and the time we like actually drop the episode, it's not fun. Like when you do stuff like this, yes, it can be a job, but you have to consider, like, since this is, a job that we were willing to do, well, not really a job, it's more like a hobby right now, but we willingly took on the mantle of doing it because, we felt as though we could get a sense of enjoyment from it. And now it's starting to feel like a chore. jobs, yes, there are jobs that feel like chores, and again, there's chances might become profitable at some point, but not all jobs, especially not podcasts, should feel like a chore. Podcasts should definitely not feel like it's a boring, mundane job that you repeatedly go to on a regular basis, expecting the same outcome. It shouldn't. Podcasts should be fun, interesting, and worthwhile for everyone, even the content creators themselves. And if it's not fun for the content creators, what incentive do they have to keep working on them?
The answer is
Just to
none.
suffer? That's not a very good trade-off, if you ask me. I don't think it's a very good trade-off for anyone. Even for Burner and Mello here, theoretically, if they had to go through the same fate that I did when if I was by myself, if they got that same feeling, would that be fun? No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't be fun under any circumstances. So no one wants to go through all of this. We just want you to understand that while we're having fun, we need a bit of a break. We're not saying that we're gonna constantly be taking a break and slacking off and we'll forget about it, because we're working as a team. One of us is bound to remember that we need to get this done. This doesn't mean that we're ditching the Saloon podcast. We're not throwing it away. We just need more time to release an episode. And as I stated before, you're getting more if you wait, because not only will we be able to produce podcast episodes that could range from 30 to 40 minutes, they can also be higher quality, and if you wait patiently enough, you might even get a new piece of cover art for each episode. Who knows? But it all comes with patience, and if nobody's willing to be patient enough to actually wait for this stuff, then we might not do it anymore at that point, because nobody's willing to wait. Nobody's willing to understand the sense of dread and panic that we're feeling. But that's why we made this in the first place, because we don't want to leave everyone in the dark. We want to inform people that this is just as important as them, as the viewers tuning into each episode and excitedly waiting for what's about to come next, if not more so, actually. You need, there's always going to be a trade-off for every, if the viewer has to throw, if you have to throw a bone for the viewer, if you have to give the viewers a bone, the viewers have to give the content creators a bone back, because if they're not willing to cooperate and listen and hear us out, then what incentive would we have to produce an episode? We'd be not only wasting our time, but we'd be doing it for people that don't care about the pain that we're going through to make these a thing.
And that also kind of plays into the fact that, again, we're humans, so we're
all human.
We're not machines that can theoretically make these episodes a thing. Of course not. If I had the power to make all these episodes perfect, I absolutely would. But not only do I not have the sufficient editing skills, I just don't have the time. And I can't exactly say for any other type of content creator who does a show like this, but I ask them about, if you probably ask them about this, I imagine that they will probably say that they would start to feel burnout at some point too, and they need a break. We're saying, what we're trying to say here is that me and Knock especially can't really say for Mello, but mostly for me and him, we need more time. That's just all that we're asking. And it's a simple request. It's nothing too, we're not being ungrateful, because we do appreciate everyone who does listen in every single week, and you guys.
And not only that, we're going out of our way to make these podcasts for everyone. So we're being far from ungrateful. If we were ungrateful, we could theoretically make a podcast. We could be as lazy as, not going as far to say anything. You could literally just do a podcast without any sound in it and just be in complete and utter silence for like 30 minutes. We're not doing that. That'd be stupid. That'd defeat the point of a podcast. We care. We're not that lazy. We really, again, that's why we went out of our way to incorporate things like music. That's why I went out of my way to get Burner and Mello here involved. Because I care about the quality. But I can't, increase the quality if we don't get, things in exchange for it, like a break every now and then. Because we're going to need it along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as you hear us out and cooperate and understand that this is a very serious issue and are willing to accept our decision, then we swear on our lives. Well, I don't know about our lives, but we swear that we'll be able to produce something far better than we were ever able to before, because now we'll have more range. We'll have far more to work with, and again, because of the fact that you're waiting longer for more episodes and you're getting less content, you're getting more high quality content in exchange for quantity. That's what we're saying.
And not only
you're getting
that,
longer. Yeah, and you'll have more to look forward to, because there's only so much on our list that we can cover before we run out of stuff. So by having this spread more evenly, we can actually produce more content, and you'll have more to look forward to. Because we're not constantly uploading an episode each week, rather every month. So it'll be spread evenly across each year, and it'll be more fun that way. So as long as you understand where we're coming from, we'll be more than happy to do more episodes. We just need you to give us more time. And if you give us that, episodes will be on the way. That's all we ask. With just a bit of cooperation. That's it. We're not asking for any more than that. We're thankful that you're tuning into these episodes in the first place. We just don't want to suffer every time we make one. That's all.
On the note of
that... Yeah.
Yeah, on the note of that, there's also a big complication going on in my personal life. The computer that I use to not only edit all the episodes, but also record all of them, because, yeah, I'm also the one who records these episodes. Big shock. But, it's currently suffering through some problems, so theoretically, if we kept this up through the weekly, and I wouldn't have a computer that I can access regularly, then yeah, it would start to become a huge issue that we wouldn't be able to do any type of episodes. No, granted, of course, we would still have... Actually, no, because, even then, disregarding the fact that one of us would still have to edit it, it would still, be a huge issue. So, if we kept this up weekly, and my computer just suddenly just went out on the fritz, and I'm not able to use it whatsoever, then that sounds like a problem. So, but I am working on a fix, so yeah, I might also have to take some time, so... But, other than that, it's still usable, of course. We wouldn't be recording this episode right now if it wasn't, but I'm just saying for the sake of precaution and rather than just anything else. So,
right.
And it's, there's that. I'm not exactly sure how to explain it, but, it's been a mess for old Coma for the past while now, hasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, but I think that's everything we needed to mention.
Yeah.
Unless there's something else that needs to be said from Mello's end, but...
Well, no, I think that's everything. Well, we just ask you, the viewer, is just please understand that what we're trying to do is just trying to give us more time, as well as more so of a break to kind of recoup, get us back together. Also, new new content every month instead of a week so that, it won't be as taxing. And basically, we understand that, you guys might be impatient and stuff like that. Some of you guys are, not all of you, but we just hope that you understand that we have lives too. It's not just you who
Yeah,
has lives, we have lives. And all we want is just your cooperation and hopefully not to go off the wrong way for you
Yeah.
guys and for us as well. And that's all we really hope for.
that's all we just want you to understand and just respect our decision. That's all we ask. And
All we ask.
your cooperation. We don't
Mhm.
we're not asking, for something ludicrous either. We're just, we're asking just for your patience. That's all we ask for. Really. We're not asking for anything more than that. That's all we want
Mm-hmm.
out of you guys. And if you give us the time that we need to produce an episode, we'll give you the episode. You'll have something better than ever to look forward to. And we'd be more than happy to deliver, but if you can't, then, well, I hate to say it, but it sucks to be you.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to word it like that, but it's true. If you cannot bring yourself to wait more than a week, then we can't like meet the quality standard that we're aiming to achieve.
And then at that
And
point,
we'll
what would
stress ourselves out in the process. Sorry.
and then at that point, like, we would just be damaging ourselves that we wouldn't even want to do the show anymore, which is something that we don't want because we want to continue the show. That's definitely something that
Exactly.
we want to make very well aware to you. We want to continue the show. All we're asking is that we need more time and for your cooperation on this. That's all that we're going to say on this. And if you go ahead and if you give it to us, then we can say that we are going to deliver more episodes and hopefully at a better quality and something that won't drive me actually insane.
That won't drive any of us insane.
Mhm.
So, yeah, if you're already here, if you've listened to us ramble for, I don't know, a good 10 to 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long this has lasted.
Much longer than that, so
Oh, 20?
try 30.
Oh, if you've been listening
Yeah.
to us ramble for a good 30 minutes now and have gotten to the end, we appreciate it. We're very grateful that, you stuck here and you understand where we're coming from. And that's all we want.
Mhm.
That's all we need. Is just a little bit of time and we'll give you exactly what you requested. With
Yeah.
that being said, I think that's literally everything that we can cover regarding our situation right now.
Yeah.
So
In very extensive detail, might we add, so
yeah, incredibly, we've been sitting here for a half hour trying to convey where we're coming from. So, but we're just happy that you decided to take the time out of your day to listen to us explain how we feel right now.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll catch you next time. We're again to reassure you guys for on the off chance you're worried that you might wait for longer than we said you'd wait for. There's a Spark episode on the way. We're covering Spark the Electric Jester. It's coming soon. Burner needs time to edit it still, but it's coming soon. We don't
Yes.
know how soon, but it's about maybe I don't know. It's up to Burner, but it's coming soon.
Yes.
It'll come within the time span of this month.
Right.
Yeah. It
So
will.
don't you worry.
It'll that's 100% going to be the next episode. So look forward to it.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll catch you next time.
Fairly well.
No jokes here. Just see you later, everybody, and take care and please understand.
Have a good
Yeah.
night.